Welcome to Mecha Imports Reviews of Deluxe Shuriken Sentai and Ninja SurferMaru. Here we see SurferMaru in its three different forms, including its combined form with both Shuriken and Bison King. Interesting to note, this shares similarities with the Ika origami from Shinkenja, which is both an auxiliary Zord owned by the 6th Ranger of the series that combines with both the original and the 6th Ranger's own personal mecha to form new modes. Here we see is SurferMaru from the front. It's got a combined theme of both animal traits, hence the jaws there, making a sort of shark mode, but also traits from a submarine, as you can see through there. This is an interesting thing to note, as we'll see with the next Megazord that comes out in the line, which all has a combined vehicle and animal mode theme. Now, if you look at this mode, it's got the it's got the spinning feature at the back here. There's some lovely detailing right on the top here, which have got the different logos, which we can see is we've got Star Ninja's personal logo there and the Automaton logo just through on there. So let's get him transformed into the next mode, which has yet another reference to past Sentai. So we have the nice little surfboard just down there. Once again, Ranger key-like legs on SurferMaru himself, and then he just clips right onto there. Feet fold down quite comfortably, and you can pose him. Where will that hold correctly? There we go. Leaning back, surfing, and you can turn the head as well to give him a sort of laid-back style, hang 10 sort of positioning on here. Now, I really like the little Automaton mode for SurferMaru. He's got a funky little sort of mouthpiece on the side there with a snorkel design. He's got limited articulation, as we've seen with all the other Automatons, unfortunately, but the legs are fairly poseable again for the throne mode. I like the fact the feet are poseable because it gives him a couple of different options when he's actually on the board as such, but it makes the submarine mode a lot more flushed. So here we have the very comfortably rolling surfer mode. The surfer mode, as you notice, has the familiar rubbery plastic on the arms that we've seen before. That's because this combines with both Bison King and Shuriken. We'll get more onto that more in a second. But also it's interesting to know, as we've said before, Ninja is all about referencing past Sentai. Now, we've only had one case in the past where we've had a surfing Zord in Sentai. You may all remember it from Geki Ranger as the penguin, the surfing penguin, which I believe everyone loves, just that little bit inside. This one actually has slightly more posability in the surfer mode than the penguin from Geki Ranger. So let's move on from that and get this guy combined with Shuriken. The all-important Nin Shuriken. Now, the Shuriken Surfer mode has, slight issues with balance, as you may have noticed. Now, some people are going to be a little bit worried by the fact that there's only one clip actually on the leg. It's quite useful, obviously, as Shuriken, as we know, has so much posability in the legs. You can, if you so choose, make him pose ever so slightly more like a surfer. Might help if you've got the Key Ninja Zord taken off the back, just to give it that little bit more stability. But for the most part, Shuriken Surfer is fairly solid on the base. It's not going to go anywhere particularly far unless you're being really rough with it, but it sits very comfortably. I love this face mould that we've got here. Let's get a nice close-up of the actual face right here. It's got this wonderful sharky grin, nice sharp little teeth through there. It just looks really quite fantastic. As I said before, we've got the elements of Shinkenja of the combined mode with the 6th Ranger's auxiliary Zord thrown in here. Interesting to note that when this is the only Automaton But in the series, when they combine with it, Star Ninja is also in the cockpit. Now, we've got some theories running around the internet at the moment, what that actually means, especially with regards to that new Megazord, but we're getting ahead of ourselves right now. So, let's just have a look at this. Loving the shuriken that's on here. Main thing that I love about this shuriken is just it's so spiky, it's so funky. If you know anything about sharks, you'll know that they are literally covered in teeth. If you look very closely, there's some wonderful detailing around here, almost like sort of spines or teeth or something on here. We've got standard 3 sound effects. Running theme with Ninja, as we know, is the funky, fun sound effects with it. Absolutely love the ones on here. Love, again, as usual, the combining sounds. And if you have been watching the series, you will probably love that music because you think of the scene where they call upon SurferMaru to find Star Ninja sitting there with a cocktail and a burger. Spoilers otherwise. But there we have it. Shuriken Surfer. Now, I would show you the combined mode with Bison King, but it seems fairly redundant, only because the Shuriken, unfortunately, despite being actually designed to go with Bison King, and as we'll see, physically showing that it can be combined with Bison King on the box, doesn't have a separate sound effect for Bison King Surfer, which is a little bit of a letdown for it. Otherwise, I'd honestly say that SurferMaru is becoming my favourite Automaton. I think the Shuriken's fantastic, I think the sound effects are fantastic, I think it's got a nice bit of posability, it's got some really good references to past Sentai in there, and if you're choosing between the 3, UFO, Surfer or Pound, you've got to go with SurferMaru. This has been a Mecha Imports review. My name is Ru. I will see you soon.